Hello everybody, Tajri on the Guy 3 here. Welcome back to more Pokemon Showdown. And yes, you're reading that name right. I'm battling against someone named 8. I don't know if I put the right amount of S's. Someone can correct me in the comment section. But yeah, the battle starts off. They bust out a Dragon Dance. I bust out some Toxic on the Wish Cache. They bust out more Dragon Dance. I guess the hope is to get stronger. I bust out a Reflect beforehand so I can get ready for whatever it is. And then I bust out a Gyro Ball. I thought it would do a lot, but it didn't. And then I bust out Waterfall to do more damage. Wish Cache is basically walking towards the death right now. And it's kind of effed up. But yeah, Wish Cache ends up going down, which is sad because all of that work for those Dragon Dances. But then Heracross comes out and uses Substitute, not after Mega Evolving. And this is cool because I got both screens up. That's never happened to me before. I have Reflect and Light Screen both up. And Bronzong's pretty much did his job, so I'm not really afraid. That's why I bust out Archeops, so that I can use a glass cannon attacker in order to come out with really powerful, really powerful flying type attacks and a really high attack power to use acrobatics on the rest of these Pokemon while both of those screens are up. I thought it was really cool. I end up using Tailwind on my opponent to slow him down a little bit. Archeops ends up taking a sacrifice though because of that. Then I end up breaking out Zebreska. And that's cool because Zebreska knew Overheat, so I'm glad they switched in to make out Heracross. I guess they didn't know that. And it does lower my special attack, however, I still got the Reflector. Now this was cool. They used Calm Mind, and I kept using Nasty Plot, and it was a battle to see who would get their specials up more. Unfortunately for him, my move that I'm about to use while they keep getting this up, my move was Psyshock, and Psyshock does physical damage, but it's still a special attack, so it was able to take Clefable out. I used Psyshock, and obviously because I used the Nasty Plot 2 times, Mew was just ready to start sweeping. But then I used Baton Pass and bust out Gengar, so now it has really high special attack power and is able to wipe the field clean using moves like Sludge Wave, which is super effective against Celebi, and then finish it all off with Shadow Ball on Clawitzer, and that's game for that one. So that was a pretty cool game, pretty cool battle against 8. And next up we have a battle against a person called Sweaty Yeti. I really liked the name, so I thought that was pretty cool. So then, yeah, the battle starts off, I got a Clink Clink on the field, they got Suicune. My plan here is to use Clink Clink's Gear Grind, and it's cool because Hitmontop came out to use Intimidate, but yeah, it didn't do much because I have Clear Body. So the plan was to use Shift Gear enough times just to make sure that I can bust in some good gear grinds, but my first one misses and I'm pissed about it. So the next gear grind does hit and it finishes Hitmontop off because I used gear grind like twice. So it's all good said there and done, and I have just enough health to ensure that I can wipe out this Sharpedo. He does use Protect, which means the first wild charge fails, but the second one ends up happening simply because, Sharpedo isn't faster than a Clink Clink. So yeah, but he ends up taking the sacrifice for that because of the recoil. Then the next move, Victory Bell thankfully had enough special defense to last, and then ends up getting that buff thanks to Sunny Day, and then I was able to use Chlorophyll in order to get faster to use the Power Whip. Then I used Knockoff on this Vivillon, and this Vivillon causes so much problems in this battle. My plan is to get Victory Bell's attack up so that I can use an attack to wipe out Vivillon, but I didn't know it knew Hurricane. Next up is Heatran. And obviously a Heatran can take out a Vivillon any day of the week, even if it's a lower level. But the problem here was that it not only confused me, it ended up hitting me with Sleep Powder. So I was like, God damn it. So they were like, even if I did wake up, the chances of me attacking were like really slim. So I end up getting hit by the Hurricane, but then the Fire Blast finally lands and I'm finally able to wipe out Vivillon, which is good. Then Alakazam comes out and he tries to Focus Blast, and Focus Blast obviously isn't good very accuracy wise. So the plan is to bust in a bunch of Cellcocks, to make sure that he gets damaged later on, because I knew one Fire Blast wouldn't be enough to wipe out Alakazam. But then the Focus Blast comes in and finally takes Heatran out, so I was able to last long enough for that. Then Dragalia comes out and busts out a Draco Meteor in order to clean up shop, and there's only one Pokemon left, and it's Virizion. So Virizion comes out here, and I'm like, oh crap, I still got 3 Pokemon left, so I still have enough time to strategize against Virizion. The plan is to go ahead and fight off Virizion with X Scissors, and then see if I got any other moves that can work against Virizion. Unfortunately, they end up quitting because they knew that Shedinja has the Wonder Guard ability, ability, and I guess that Virizion didn't have any moves that could wipe out Shedinja. So for a rage quit, I decided to put in one more battle. It's me versus Dean. I feel like you guys shouldn't have to miss out simply because that person rage quit. This battle between Dean and I was actually really interesting. He buzzes out a Golem, busts out some Stealth Rock, and I actually have a Virizion, which I thought was pretty funny. Then I end up using Substitute against Torterra. Thankfully, I had the Ice Hidden Power, so I was able to do a lot of damage on Torterra. His plan was to speed up Torterra with Rock Polish, which is a good move because he can bust out the Synthesis to heal up all that damage. And Dean just stalls the crap out of me with Synthesis while me using Hidden Power because it's also a Life Orb Virizion. So every time I use Hidden Power, I end up losing a little bit of health myself, which is a good plan, only it can only go so far because, you know, at that point Torterra can't heal more than it's lost. Then the Malamar comes out and Virizion thankfully knows close combat, so it does a decent amount of damage on Malamar. This Virizion's just kicking ass in this entire battle, and that's good because I end up busting out the close combat yet again, which I thought was really cool, and that wiped out Malamar just before it got to be a real threat. So Golem comes back out, and I'm like, oh crap, I gotta think of something, but it used Sucker Punch, and that has priority over me. So, yeah, that ended up happening. This Ferrothorn causes so much problems. He switched in, and I knew he was gonna switch into something, so I wanted to Toxicate, but it didn't work because of his Steel. He ends up using the knockoff while I try to just chip him down with Ice Beam because I got nothing left. But unfortunately, Ferrothorn bust out the Leech Seeds, so now I got Stealth Cox and Leech Seeds out on the field. It's just a danger zone out here, and spoilers, it gets worse. So I'm just trying to chip away at this Ferrothorn with, see, there it is, it gets worse with the spike. So the entire field is like a battle, like just a danger zone. But the cool part is that Qwilfish actually comes out and saves my ass with Intimidate, and then a Thunder Wave in order to make Ferrothorn paralyzed, which really saved my ass for this next part. So Beedrill comes in, and Beedrill actually knows how to Mega Evolve. I think this Beedrill does know how to Mega Evolve. Yes, he does. So I end up busting out that X Scissors, which I knew would do a lot of damage, but it ended up costing me some health too because of that, and the fact that he's Leech Seed. The Gyro Ball takes him out. Jinx comes out on the field. I'm like, crap, this Ferrothorn is just like whipping my whole entire team. He knows Gyro Ball, it's Steel type move, and I think because it's a Steel type Pokemon, it ends up taking out. Oh no, I managed to get in a win thanks to the Ice Beam. Yeah, that is what ends up happening. Then this Cobalion comes out and uses Iron Head, wipes out Jinx, and it's like, oh crap, this doesn't look good. I only have 2 Pokemon left, and Cobalion's out here. Like, what am I gonna do? Thankfully, the Intimidate lowers his attack power just enough so that I was able to use Thunder Wave to lower his speed. And this is where Qwilfish gets to work. Qwilfish ends up using Waterfall, and thankfully because he's part Water type, it resists the Steel. So I'm able to fight off Cobalion just long enough to like do some considerable damage. And the Iron Heads are just weak enough to keep Qwilfish alive. So I'm able to bust out even more Waterfalls, and Qwilfish is just putting up fights against Cobalion like a champion. My last Pokemon is Leafeon, and thankfully Cobalion is paralyzed, so I get the priority because I think I would have been slower otherwise. I use Leaf Blade, and that cleans up shop. Dean has a Smurgle. Unfortunately, this Smurgle was not meant for battling. This Smurgle was meant for setups. So he doesn't have any moves that can work, so he has no choice but to switch out and use Golem. And then when Golem comes out, I knock off his balloon, and then I'm able to clean shop up with him using Leaf Blade. So Golem's out, which means all that's left is the Smurgle that's meant for setups and scouting, not meant for battling. So I bust out the Leaf Blade. It does critical. He hangs on with a Sash. He uses Sticky Whips to slow me down, but there's nothing else he can really do. So I finish things up with a knockoff, and it is over. So with that said, I am Tyrone the God 3 out. Have a great day, everybody. Those were some fun battles.